Hi, thanks for joining me for this week's quick business tip. If you are struggling in your business because it is not the dream come true that you wanted it to be, and you are constantly thinking about your business, kind of always have the on switch turned on in your business, today's episode is for you. We are going to talk about resetting your work boundaries and reclaiming that personal life so that your business can thrive and you feel like it is the dream that you set out to create. Now, let's face it, if you are passionate about your business and you love what you do, it's really easy to fall into that workaholic trap, and boundary lines can get blurry super fast. Maybe you're like me, and as you're like sort of waking up in bed in the morning, you start having some really great creative thoughts about what you can do for your business or your clients. Maybe you are more of a night owl and you tend to think you're going to stop working at 5 o'clock, but it's 7 or 8 before you actually turn the computer off. If you are answering your email at all hours of the day and night, it can be a really slippery slope into sort of dreading the business that you intended to love when you created it. Now, the problem here is the hustle at all cost mentality. It really just isn't sustainable year after year after year. And it's going to lead to burnout for sure. When you are exhausted, you start resenting your clients, resenting the work, takes all of the joy and the fun out of your business. And it really starts to take the fun out of your personal life as well. During this hustle at all costs mentality, you can also struggle with relationships. Even if you are physically present in the important moments with your family and your friends, if you're not mentally present, people start to notice and they start to either resent you or your business. And when you start doing that and making your business honestly a higher priority than your friends and your family, that really is an unhealthy, unsustainable lifestyle. You're also going to miss out on a lot of opportunities when you are constantly on the go and thinking about your work and your plans. You don't allow yourself that time to rest and recharge. And they have done studies that show that those are the times where you have some of your best ideas by just allowing yourself to listen to nature and the universe and your own head and just stuff that's going on. If you're just constantly focused on what it is that you're doing and you don't just stop and listen, you can miss out on some of the most amazing things. And the reason that I'm able to tell you about all of these things is because I have been there. It wasn't that long ago that my business was going really well, growing super fast, and I was a train wreck. I was working way more hours than I should have been working in a week. I was answering emails late into the evening, responding to text messages and DMs late into the evening. I hardly ever spent time with my friends, rarely saw my family. And one day, my boyfriend just sat me down and was like, "What's the problem?" And it was a really good conversation because he's a great guy. But it really made me stop and think and reprioritize and refocus. So, how do you go about breaking free from looking at your business as like your obsession and setting some really clear boundaries? The first step is to realize that setting clear boundaries is not about being lazy or slacking off. It's about creating a structure that is sustainable long term and helps you reach that level of success that you've been striving for, but does it in a much more productive, successful kind of way. So, here are why boundaries need to become a priority in your life. Number one, they actually give you that productivity boost that you've probably been searching for by putting in all these extra hours. When you have a set start time and stop time to your workday, you become a lot more focused and you're able to get a lot more things done. Some people like to talk about this as there's a principle. I can't remember the name right now, but it's when the task will fill whatever time you allot it to fill. So if I have blocked off an hour to do my grocery shopping on a Wednesday afternoon, it will probably take me the full hour to get the grocery shopping done. But if I have a client call that I know I need to get on and I've only given myself 20 minutes, there's a really good chance that I can get all that grocery shopping done in the 20 minutes that I've allotted. So the task will actually expand to fill whatever time you give it. And when you are not setting a start and stop time to your day, and you have a list of tasks that you're going to get done that day, you just take longer to do things because you don't tell yourself that you're stopping at 4 o'clock. You can stop at 8 or 9 or 10. And so your productivity will actually increase if you limit the time that you have. You will also bring back the creative spark that you may or may not have noticed has been missing because the rest and the recharge that you allow your mind to do during those off hours will actually lead to more new ideas, and it will allow you the time and space to make better decisions. So you're not having to make nearly as many mistakes. And you're just like, you will find that everything just starts to become a lot more clear. Now, one of the obvious boundary bonuses is that you will get stronger relationships because you will be able to be physically, mentally, and emotionally present for the people that you really care about. Because let's face it, you didn't create this business so that you could hustle and miss out on time with your family and lose track of all connections with your friends. You created this business to really give yourself the freedom, both financially and in the sense of time. And without boundaries, you are not even allowing the possibility of that freedom. Boundaries also allow you to have completely guilt-free downtime. You know that you are putting in the time and you are highly productive during those hours that you have set for yourself to work, which means that you can then enjoy all of your downtime without the guilt and the nagging, oh, I've got these 3 things that I need to do for my business. The change won't be instantaneous, especially if you've been doing this always on hustle for a long period of time. But if you can stick with those boundaries, you will start seeing a difference. I know I've been there. And let me tell you, when you get on the other side of it, it's so much better than you could have even imagined. So let's talk about how we can really set the boundaries and stick to them. So the first thing that you want to do is set that clear start and stop time for your workday. You also want to start schedule, like time blocking your schedule. And if you have, you know, work on your accounting system in your schedule, you need to treat that with just as much value as an appointment with a client Because if you allow the stuff that you're doing as you're working on your business to get shuffled around and sort of pushed to the back burner, then that ends up being the stuff that you sort of take on late at night because you're filling all that time in with client work. So whatever goes on the schedule, you've given yourself hours, you put it on the schedule, that stays on the schedule. Now, if you need to move something around because a client can only meet during that time, that's fine as long as you have another spot during your working hours where you can move that, like your own appointment to. I would also highly recommend some, just unplugging. So turn off your notifications, um, maybe even close whatever email provider you're using, whether it's Outlook or Gmail. Just shut it down and you can check it. I check mine first thing in the morning and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't really check my email during the day, and I let my clients know if they need something immediately, if it's super time sensitive, they can call or text me. And I have gotten so much better at not feeling like I have to immediately respond to those calls and texts. But shutting off those ridiculous notifications that are coming on constantly that aren't important to you really at all, if you think about it. And like also in the evenings, I like to just shut off all of the work devices altogether. So I'm not even receiving any kind of social media updates in the evenings. I'm not receiving any emails to my phone in the evenings. That's just my time to be completely away from work and not even have to make the decision as to whether or not I'm going to choose to read the email or read the notification. Delegating is going to be your superpower during this time where you are choosing to work on what needs to be worked on and then delegate the stuff that somebody else can do and probably falls much more into their genius zone than your genius zone. If you hate doing it, even if it's going to take you some time to record some screenshots, set up some processes and things, delegating that task that comes up week after week and is very repetitive is going to save you like an entire day. By the time you've sort of like really optimized your schedule and really thought about what you can hand over, in 3 to 6 months, you can start going from, a 5 or 6 day week where you're working from 7 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night to like a 4-day week where you're working from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just amazing what happens when you really start picking and choosing what's important to move your business forward and start delegating the tasks to either VAs, contractors, or other people on your team. Now, obviously, in all things, communication is the key to success. So, in the same way that I let my clients know, like email is not a priority for me. If it is super time sensitive, you need to reach out to me in some other format. Um, DMs have never been a priority for me. Uh, I can go I try not to go an entire day, but I can go an entire day without even looking at that. And by letting your clients know when you're available for them and letting your family know when you are available for them, you can really start setting some clear expectations up front so that your kids, your spouse, they know to leave you alone at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not the time to come in and ask you what's for dinner. But at 3:30, you're going to shut everything down and you're going to go, hang out with your kids after school and help them with their homework and do whatever. Maybe you spend 30 minutes with your spouse if he's home. Just like really taking that time to spend with them and really being intentional about it because you've set the boundaries with your work. And the best part is that this type of boundary setting is also going to allow you the time to take care of yourself. So whether that's going to the gym, getting back into those hobbies that you probably haven't touched since maybe before college, or listening to music, dancing, whatever makes you feel good inside, that is honestly just as important as your personal brand and your social media outreach and your email nurture sequences. You have to take care of you and fill your cup up so that you're able to pour into both your clients and your family and friends. I hope you agree with me that business should be part of a fulfilling life and not every part of your life. And I hope that you will take what we've talked about here today and start creating some healthy boundaries for yourself, to not only protect you and your mental, emotional, and physical health, but also to really start growing those relationships. And the best part is you can fall back in love with the business that you've created for yourself and really make it into that dream that you had when you first started out. If you are looking for some guidance, maybe you want to talk to someone about delegating some of your marketing services, tactics, processes, systems, I would love to get on a call with you and talk to you about how me and my team can help you and your team not only reach your next business goals, but also get you back significant amount of time in your day and just really start creating that dream work and personal life that you've been searching for. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jennifer with Limitless Impact Agency.